So this is my third take on this video, and you know how I feel about threes. First two keep getting copyrighted, so this is going to be another way of putting it up. Hopefully it makes it through this time. Separation is illusion. Everything is connected. When I was growing up, the teacher would ask me, who are three people that you'd like to meet, dead or alive? And I always said Martin Luther King, Martin Luther King, Gandhi, and Jesus, because I like to know what it was like to move people just by talking, as well as move people in a positive way. And I'm going to have to keep on doing this because definitely don't want the commercials to get it copyrighted. So, like I said, this is just another way I'm having to do it because putting these videos in it gets a lot more commercials. Make sure to, like, comment, and subscribe to these greats. So after I got up in 2016, my three people will be Nikola Tesla, Dr. Sebi, and Marcus Garvey. You can put Tupac in there, but you only get three people. And my three people that's alive would be K-Dot, KRS-One, and B.O.B. because they helped me grow and develop a lot since, like I said, 2016. So some quotes from these three, one from each. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Martin Luther King said that, and I got that from this book. Maybe this book will be our commercial stopper. The pen is mightier than the sword, but the tongue is mightier than them both combined. Marcus Garvey said that. I got that in a documentary, which we'll go over that too. And who need a hero? Hero. You need a hero. Look in the mirror. There go your hero. Who's on the front line on ground zero? Hero. Now, I watched this documentary called Mr. Dynamite, Rise of James Brown. And the way I'm breaking down my channels, my thoughts on documentaries, lectures, and interviews is number 2. So we're on to that one. And while watching this documentary back in 2016, 17, I realized that black was an act. You know what I mean? And at the same time, telling people that you're not black comes with a whole bunch of rah, but standing on it, this is me putting it into words and video format. So when I was growing up, I found out that I was black because I was darker than my brother. Then African American came out, and people said, how can I be African American? I ain't never even been to Africa. I'm American, or I'm black. So George Bush became president, and from George Bush back to the 80s, that's 28 years for y'all, 4 years for me. Black was an act. I've been called Oreo and white, so trust me, I know from experience. In 1968, black was called Negro and colored. Look up civil rights pictures, especially when it comes to the fountains. And 1968 is when Americans finally got pride in being black. Martin Luther King died April 4th, 1968. Say It Loud came out August 7th, 1968. James Brown created an image, the afro, in an anthem, Say It Loud. The people did the rest. In 1973, the Big Payback was created, and that was the anthem for the N-word. Fast forward to NWA. Ice Cube starts and says, "Fuck the police coming straight from the underground. A young nigga got it bad 'cause I'm brown. Not black, brown." My philosophy, KRS-One, says, "I'm not white or red or black, I'm brown." From the Boogie Down. And like I said, he doesn't say black. He says brown. Now, that's in the 80s. Backstabbers come out in 1972. The OJs on the cover, Afro. Takeaways starts with "When the World's at Peace," ends with "The Love Train." And Backstabbers, song number 2, or chapter 2, hits hard for me. The whole album is dope. Check it out. Like I said, make sure, get OJs a like and, comment on these songs. Subscribe to their channel. In case you do it from this channel, put 3-piece. 1973, Ship Ahoy comes out. Again, on the album cover is Afro. Takeaways from this: "For the love of money." The reason people were stabbed in the back, meaning, this is the Backstabbers. Now That We Found Love, something that I started looking for after To Pimp a Butterfly. You don't even have any self-respect. How can you respect somebody else? Don't call me brother. So all skin folk and kinfolk has been common knowledge. In 1973 on Ship Ahoy, the song "Don't Call Me Brother." 1975, Earth, Wind, Fire, That's Where the World, Chapter 1, Shining Star. Takeaways from this: life ain't always what it seems. Oh yeah, I said that in the previous video. You're a shining star, that light that comes from a higher place. Again, something I've touched on in previous videos. That's the message. You are a star. That's the way of the world. Chapter 2, takeaways: you will find peace of mind if you look way down in your heart and soul. And I say people have lost their mind and hearts and replaced it with money, which means their soul is probably up for sale too. Also, the album cover, everybody has Afro. Ebony and Ivory came out in 1982 and was number 1 on the US charts as well as the UK charts. Michael Jackson came out with Thriller in 1982. On his album cover, they had the Jerry curls. And NWA came out in 1988. Again, on their album, they had the Jerry curls. And some other artists had the high top box fades or the low top box fades, which, like I said, that was the end of black and the start of a new word. Nigga. I heard it first in Pusha Man. I'm your mama, I'm your daddy, I'm that nigga in the alley. So it's been in the community before NWA, but when I was growing up, I couldn't say the N-word, especially around my mom. I couldn't even say lie or hell. When I was in middle school and high school, people would wear these $20 contacts from the hood store. Blue, green, gray, hazel. I had some gray ones, but I only had them for one day. The afros were waves and perms. High school, my junior year, people was going to the tanning bed like religiously, and they were getting extremely dark. So the blacks were wearing contacts and getting perms, and the whites were tanning hard and getting surgeries like lip fillers and stuff. I got out of jail in 2008, and it was clear black was the new white. Before 2001, white people didn't like Ebonics. Chop meant check you. They would say, I'm not bleeding. Steal you meant punch you in the face. They would say, where are you going to take me? Where are you taking me to? And the biggest was, what's up? They would say, the ceiling or the sky. When I got out of jail, everybody was like, you, and crank that, crank that, crank that, crank that. There was so many dances to crank it to. And my president is black. I say all that to say, when I was growing up, we was over black and white, especially after 9/11. Then, while Obama was in office, someone said, Black Lives Matter. And all of a sudden, everybody became pro-black. I call these people the new blacks. 2016, Obama's last year in office, Black Lives Matter, Meet the Blacks, 50 Shades of Black, all popping off. And the new blacks are gathering around hashtag Black Lives Matter, TV shows, movies, even celebrities getting in on it. Usually celebrities would stay out of social issues. Look at the cast of Selma in their premiere, 12/15/14. That's December 15th, 2014. Now, I stated in another video back, black and white people only exist in the United States. So in case you are not from the United States, you're not black. You're not white. And they only existed from 1968 to 1980. So in case you were born 80s and past it, like I said, from the Jerry curl to the now. You know what I mean? From 2016 back to 2001, everybody wanted to be in the hood, but nobody wanted to live there. And 2016, in 1966, Martin Luther King was marching in Chicago for equal housing. So in 2016, that's 50 years. And when we look at Chicago now, we can still see what shape it's in. He called this the Marquette Park March, and it's the first step on a 1,000-mile journey. In that march, he got hit with a projectile. So that was, like I said, 1966. And then in 1963, Martin Luther King marched on Washington and gave a speech dreaming his children could live in a nation where they wouldn't be judged by the color of their skin, but the content of their character. And now all I hear is people saying, I'm black, I'm black, I'm black, and not saying things about their character or character building characteristics. And I'll just let Dochi talk about how it was like growing up for them, and I felt like we had similar upbringings, just in different forms and a different time. They're a lot younger than me.
Feel how I felt, and I'm going to talk about how it felt being dark, or how it feels being dark, specifically how it felt being a dark girl in my past versus how I feel being a dark girl now. And I'm going to separate this video into are so ugly, like you are so ugly. Like I literally just asked God, like, why did I have to be born black? Like why couldn't I just have been I didn't even wish to be light skinned. I just wanted to be brown. I was like, why am I so dark? Why couldn't I just be a little bit lighter? Maybe people would like me a little bit more, or maybe I would be perceived as a little smarter or a little just a lot of stuff that they had going on, and I felt like I actually belonged. I didn't get looked at weird. I just felt a part of something, but at times I was often pushed away because I was acting white, or I talked white, or I wanted to be a white girl because I spoke proper English, I guess. They would always tease me for talking white or whatever. And so that was where I always felt like I was too black to be with my white friends, and I was too white to be with my black friends. I always felt like that. I never really fit in anywhere. I never really fit in 100% anywhere. I want to say I was in the 5th grade when I told myself I wasn't going to go outside anymore the whole summer because I didn't want to get darker. I told myself that I wasn't going to stay outside for long periods of time because I didn't want to get darker. I started wearing sunscreen every single day because I thought that it would eventually make me lighter. I remember thinking about putting bleach in the tub and bleaching my skin. I researched different skin bleaches to bleach my skin. I always got teased a lot. I got called every name in the book for being dark skinned. I was told that, you know what I'm saying? I was always, whenever me and my friends would go, you know what it is, like, and it's not even because I wasn't attractive. It was just because I was too dark. Back then, my whole elementary and middle school career, just being, I'd say from age 15 and below, being the dark girl felt horrible. I did not like being black. I hated being black. I absolutely hated being dark skinned. I hated my skin. I felt it made me ugly. I felt it made me less smart. I hated my skin with a passion. I do not like being black. I did everything in my dark girls out there to know that I know what it feels like, and I have hated myself before. I've hated every single person that looked like me. I've hated it. I've hated being dark skinned. I've hated dark skins. I've hated my skin. I've hated any dark skinned person out there. I have literally experienced and lived out a lifestyle of self-hate, so I know what it feels like. And I need you to know that I know what it feels like. And I need you to overcome it, and I need you to know that you are worth it, you are beautiful, you are enough. I love you. I love your skin. I love your hair. I love your white teeth. I love everything about your brown eyes. Elementary and middle school, and who aren't a part of my generation and are a part of this newer generation, y'all have it good. I didn't have Black Lives Matter. I didn't have Black Girls Rock. Being black was not a cool thing when I was growing up. You feel what I'm saying? It wasn't cool. It wasn't beautiful to be black. My melanin was not popping. My melanin was not on fleek. Take advantage of these things. Y'all have it way better than we do. Self-hate is not cool now. Self-love is literally becoming a trend, and I think that is beautiful. Take advantage of that. I didn't have that. I had to learn to self-love. I had to learn to love myself. I had to learn that on my own. I was loving myself before Black Lives Matter. I was loving myself before Black Girls Rock. I was loving myself before all of that. But y'all have that, so take advantage of it. When I was growing up, natural hair was not good. Natural hair was not cool. Natural hair was not cute. Perms was rocking. That's when we was rapping. Okay, that's when your rap was on fleek. Wasn't no natural hair or curls on fleek. Natural hair was not a trend. Natural hair wasn't a positive thing. I grew up when perms were popping, bleaching your skin was popping. It wasn't cute to be dark skinned. Light skinned, bow-legged, hazel-eyed girls were the perfect girls to be. If you had long straight hair, hazel eyes, light skin and you was bow-legged, you was popping. Join a movement, support something, and love yourself. Thank you guys.
Support Doshi for sure. And I was reading the whole time, so it's okay to read. And I wrote this script, so it's okay to write and read. I wrote this with my left hand, which is something I've been doing and trying to get better at, just working, with the other side of my brain. And I didn't mean to click on this one, but as you can see, the Ebony and Ivory video, Stevie Wonder got the afro, so that's 82. I give you that, those 14 years from 68 to 82. So, like I said, this is all about the Mr. Dynamite and the documentary, and the next one I'm gonna talk about the light skin, dark skin, because when I saw the whole thing unfold and I saw Don't Rap Against Kendrick Ever and J. Fold come together against Future and K-Dot, that's pretty much all I saw, and I pretty much knew which side I was on and how it was going to unfold. You seen how one person backed out and one person sued. You know what I mean? And like I said, the Wizard of Oz that Michael Jackson was in had me thinking, follow the yellow brick road to the Emerald City, and the yellow bricks are gold. And you know how K-Dot feels about gold. Look inside of your soul and you can find gold and maybe get rich. So for those people who are, looking for a peace of mind and trying to buy it, have fun with that. Because you'll find peace of mind when you look way down in your heart and soul. Separation is an illusion. High power.